I just wanted to see if you could recreate your reaction while you're watching the game there with Jim Lynam, Coach Lynam, when Ben Simmons passed up that dunk opportunity with about 3.5 minutes to go in the game.
Aim, what is he doing? Dunk it on his head. That's literally what he said. Dunk it on his head. He was like, who's guarding him there? And I said, actually not anybody. But Trae Young, come on, dunk it on his head. Yeah, we were just, I mean, apocalyptic. So it was like, what are you doing?
But we're expected to be joined by Amy Fadool from NBC Sports Philadelphia here any second. She, of course, does a great job hosting the Sixers post-game show, and I'm really anxious to get her take from yesterday's Daryl Morey press conference.
Right.
Did you get anything out of that? There she is.
There she is.
Hey, there she is.
What's up?
Right on time. Oh man!
Hey, how's it going now?
It's good, V. How are you? Hi, Harry.
I sent you an email.
Welcome to the show.
You sent me an email, which required you to open your email and compose one. You didn't check any of the ones.
You just don't know what you started.
Yeah, he could bypass the compose.
Right.
It was straight to compose, bypass actually checking any of the other emails.
Exactly.
Still 4,562 that are unanswered.
Oh, I do it to Harry. I do it to irritate her. I go up there and I just show her my phone with all the emails, and I bring it to my desk. I said, "Look at these emails right here." He said, "Barrett, it's 300 emails there. Yeah. Of course, you understand they can only go to 300 right now."
That's right.
You got to do something. You got to do something.
Wow. You don't have no idea what you started, Amy, since you were on the last time. Our stream and the people that, follow this show on a daily basis are constantly telling Barrett to check his emails. It's become a hashtag on the show.
Thank you, people.
I don't think he's doing it.
No,
I'm trying. I even retweet stuff. Harry comes.
Yeah. Well, you got to tell him. I have to text him. Amy, I'm like, can you please retweet this? Like,
does he get back to you ever, or does it the retweet comes 7 hours after the show's ended?
No, I retweet as soon as I see it, and then he'll hit me back appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It's a full-time job, Amy. It really is.
Truly, Sanji's a miracle.
He's taking over.
All right, Amy. Let's get right to it. I mean, let's go back to Game 7. You're doing the post.
I don't want to go back.
Oh, you don't want to? Well, I just wanted to see if you could recreate your reaction while you're watching the game there with Jim Lynam, Coach Lynam, when Ben Simmons passed up that dunk opportunity with about 3.5 minutes to go in the game.
Aim, what is he doing? Dunk it on his head. That's literally what he said. Dunk it on his head. He was like, who's guarding him there? And I said, actually not anybody. But Trae Young, come on, dunk it on his head. Yeah, we were just, I mean, apocalyptic. It was like, what are you doing? And I know
we watch all the games in our newsroom.
Yeah, so we watch it all together. But at that point, we go down because the way that it works in the playoffs is as soon as the game is done, like the final buzzer, we don't have to wait for the broadcast to wrap or anything. We go on. Mm-hmm. So we were watching it together. We're still together, but we're on the set, and it's just like we have it ahead of our producer Brian Brennan. So we hear, "Oh my God!" Like Jim said, and Brian's like, "What?" I'm like, "Just wait until you see this." So he puts Matisse Thybulle at the line. Yeah, I mean, obviously he said it. Like it's all mental for him. The guy that scored 42 against the Jazz back in January, that guy did not show up. I don't even know where he is. He should put out a missing poster because he's not here anymore. He said he had to change his mentality. The mentality went right out the window, and he reverted right back to himself, almost like even a regression even from before the pass first, pass second. He was so scared of getting fouled, therefore going to the free throw line, therefore missing the free throws with the game on the line or game still in doubt, I should say, that he passes it. And it's like, it's not the worst pass in the world, but it is the worst pass in the world when you are Ben Simmons, an all-star, and a guy that's 6 feet standing on as Mark Jackson would say, yellow pages, is coming out, and he doesn't even listen. Trae Young saw him, and if you look at the video again, he didn't want any of the smoke. He didn't want to get dunked on. That's what everyone in the building knew was going to happen, except for the one gentleman who was holding the ball. It was incredible. It was an incredible play, and it was I'd like to say it was a lack of awareness, but no, I think he was all too aware of the situation.
Yes. Too aware of it.
Too aware of it, like hyper aware of it. Game's on the line. I'm not going to the free throw line. I'm not doing that. No way.
Not today. Well, I mean,
not today.
What I mean, and it's not just Ben. It's
no, it's not. I mean, obviously he's easy to pile on right now.
Right,
the majority of it.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, B. I said it on the set on post game. Harry, you, me and Ben took the exact same number of shots in the last 4 fourth quarters.
It's unbelievable.
All of us combined.
3 shots in a 7-game series in the fourth quarter.
3 shots.
Yeah. That graphic you guys put up was unbelievable.
1, 2, and 3
in
games 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm sorry, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4. No shots in the fourth quarter.
Come on now, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Come on now. I mean, no matter how mentally incapable of playing at that time, you have a team that's looking to you. I mean, and I think it's partly the 76ers putting that max contract on him, which allows us to have those type of expectations on
Ben. We had it with Tobias, and the thing is, like, Tobias, when he came out and he was much better this year. I mean, obviously he was, in the All-Star conversation, probably just missed it by voting. He's admitted it. Like, listen, people were hard on me. They wanted to ship me out of town, and I got it. Like, I had this big contract, and you got to live up to it. I know Ben Simmons is only 24 years old, and I know it's not his entire fault that they blew a 26-point lead in Game 5 at home.
We forget that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're right. It's 24. Yeah.
They lost 3 of the 4 games at home.
3 home games, Harry. 3. You play all season. All you talked about all season long was you wanted that 1 seed so you could have the home games, and then you piddle it away. Like, come on. The Hawks would have been so excited to go. Look at us. Oh, good 7 games. We turned our season. They would have been fine to bow out. It would have been okay. No one that they was going to get fired or traded. That would have been like, wow, we really turned it around. Look at us. Nate McMillan, you got a coaching job. Trey Young, you guys are an up-and-coming team. Good for you. John Collins, Kevin Harlan, the little engine that could. And instead, it was the team that was the 1 seed that was like, well, yeah, I guess we tried.
You saw it in their face.
Hard to win.
Yeah, you saw it in their face.
Hard
they
to
didn't
win.
want to win.
But I loved it how Embiid pointed to that moment as really the turning point of the game. I mean, that was pretty.
That sequence was pretty bad.
Stuff.
And listen, I mean, Joel Embiid didn't have a particularly good game. 8 turnovers is always going to cost you.
Tobias missed a ton of layups.
Talk about being tight. Like, whoa, we've all been there, right? I mean, Barrett, allegedly you played on a larger stage than Harry and I, but still nonetheless, Harry and I played a serious game.
Yeah, right.
We weren't the Super Bowl.
That Robisonia Playground League was tough, man.
In high school, come on, I was in the regionals. So, get all nervous. But
you're like Mayor from Easttown.
I am Mayor. Well, Mayor hit a game-winning shot, though.
Yes, that's true.
I never did that. But I would pound some Rolling Rock with Mayor, I think.
That's right.
I think she and I could enjoy some Rolling Rock. But, they obviously got tight. Missing those bunnies, that's just, you could tell, like, that's the tightness and I'm nervous. So in B, when he starts to talk about the turning point, he's like, and he mentions me, he's like, I don't want to, the way he set it up, and I was like, I'm listening to it, and my face is like, is he talking about what I think? He is talking about what I think he's. And then, of course, he went on to say, and then I turned the ball over. I mean, that sequence, it was literally like 2 straight things back to back that just really, they missed. He didn't dunk it. They fouled Matisse Thybulle. He only makes 1. And then the very next possession down where they had to get a bucket, Joel Embiid turns the ball over. So he had the ball in his hands way too much. They rely on him too much, especially down the stretch. This offseason, they've got to go out and get a shooter that creates his own shot. I feel like I'm like talking about the Flyers goalie situation and like a quarterback for the Eagles. Like, come on. I mean, every year it's the same thing, but
right. I mean, you keep saying, I mean, it comes from here. Yeah. Again. Well, all right.
Yeah. Morey said it too. He was like, that's what we need, but you can't go in. Daryl Morey said something yesterday because he was asked about that. Cause basically, like, I think David Murphy asked the question. A couple people did in different ways. Like, what do you need? You need this. How do you get it? And he was like, you can't go in with the single mindset of, like, I've got to get this, which I agree to a certain extent, because then you become so tunnel vision on the one thing. Right. That you might miss out on something else. But that's a really big thing that you need. So it's like, I get that you want to have, you want to have a couple more guys on your bench that can come up to the veteran presence and that don't, kind of like shy away from the playoff kind of atmosphere. But at the same time, you got to get a guy that can create his own shot, score points.
Well,
like you got to get him.
I'm gonna ask you a question that, you know, I hate to do it because I mean you're a Kentucky gal, you know what I mean? That's your thing.
Yeah, there you go. Representing. I love it.
I must have 400 shirts.
I love it.
It always shows up.
But why the little engine that could came in game 6 and won the game for you. And then in the fourth quarter, the little engine that could, they didn't even get an opportunity to even try. What was that all about?
I mean, I think Doc probably saw some stuff earlier on that he was like, maybe it's too much to ask for him. You know, I'm not really sure what his thinking was. I mean, he was asked about that a little bit. And he's like, yeah, you know, he trusted his guys. It's kind of a lose-lose right there, because if I shouldn't say it's lose-lose. It's lose, maybe win, kind of, but at what expense? So a guy comes in. I mean, listen, he showed out in game 6. He got rewarded and he got some early playing time in game 7, but he had some of the jitters too. To be expected, the kid's 20 years old. Why they didn't go back to him, I don't know. Maybe Doc just didn't trust him at that point, because then if he keeps him in and he does something bad, are you setting the kid back because now his confidence is shaken a little bit? Or, you know, is it the ultimate, like, all right, look, he picked us up once again, but what's happened to the rest of the team? So, you know, I don't know. I don't know why he didn't at least attempt him out there for a little bit. Furkan Korkmaz, I wasn't a real big fan of him in that situation when he was out there with all the starters. I got it. He has the potential of hitting a 3, so I think that's why he had him out there. They've got to go out and just, they got to get another guy. I know Danny Green, they've said is coming back. He would have been a good guy to have out there, and he had not had a particularly good series until he had, you know, up until the point he'd gone out. Who's to say with the game on the line, he wouldn't have been able to step up, but you know, it's always,
he at least been on Herter a little bit. He did a lot better on Herter than Curry.
It was an odd matchup that they didn't do well defensively. I mean, Kevin Herter, come on, like, you know, Opie Cunningham out there raining thieves. I couldn't believe it.
Incredible.
I couldn't believe it.
Follow Amy on Twitter at Amy Fadool NBCS, and I got to get your take on. Since the game 7, Doc has been out there saying about how he knows how to fix Ben, at least from the free throw line, and that's where it starts. And Daryl Morey yesterday giving a lot of GM speak, which you expect. But what do you make of the public comments thus far after game 7, as far as are they just sort of, you know, trying to make it seem like everything's all good so they can try to create a deal, keep his value up, or are they really seriously thinking about bringing him back?
I mean, I do. I think Daryl Morey's going to say he's never going to like tank his product, right? He's never going to trash like something he's trying to sell.
The Eagles do that.
They do, which is so straight. This guy's terrible. You want him?
Yeah,
no,
right.
Actually, I don't.
He's a bad leader. He's a bad teammate.
Pick for him? No,
unbelievable.
You guys don't even like him. Why would I want that? That's like if someone tries something to eat and it tastes terrible, like try it. You're like, no, you said it tasted awful. I don't want to try it. You got to try it. No, I don't want it. You got to
take Zach Ertz's contract, all right? Just, you know, and give us a second rounder.
Right.
Give us something. I do think that Doc does believe that he can help Ben Simmons. Baker's in the background. I do think he can help him. His telling comment was, if he asked if Ben Simmons was a point guard on a championship team, and he says, I don't know that right now. That's as honest an answer as you're ever going to get. It was in the moment of that game 7, you're losing the series, and it's just that the season is over. And I think he meant that in a way that he doesn't maybe know if he's a point guard. I don't know what else he is. Daryl Morey was asked yesterday if you think that Ben Simmons is a power forward. I think that would be a disaster. You can't put him in that position. It's just not. That's not a good fit for him.
Where does he go?
Jim talked about it. I'm like, Jim, where does he go? And he goes, I don't know him. I mean, he's a point guard, but it's not a good one. I mean, it's true. So he is a point guard. I don't mind him in the point guard role, but he's got to make free throws. I was on with you guys before. I don't care if he ever shoots a 3-pointer. I could care less. But let's start with 6 feet and out. And then we'll go to 6 feet and in, 8 feet and in. Let's just work on that and the confidence to shoot. That's all I care. I don't care if you take 12, 15-footer. Leave that to Tobias Harris. His mid-range game is on point. Right. But you can't have a guy that's terrified to shoot and that just sits in the dunker spot the whole game. Can't do it. So I do think that Doc believes that he can help Ben Simmons. I believe that. Doc says he's got a plan. They're going to try it out. The big question, obviously, from us here is like, was he going to try it out here in Philadelphia? Is he going to try it out in California? Because we know once he goes out there, he's working with family and people that are maybe less apt to tell him you're doing it wrong. Then there was the report about switching hands. The funniest thing about that is like, I don't know which hand he shoots with.
Right.
You guys watch. You guys watch him and tell me if you think that he's for sure a left-handed shooter. Or
no,
for
I can't.
Sure, right? No, you can't.
Nope.
So that's step one. Which-handed are you? Step two.
I didn't know that. You know, that was something to me.
That's always been that way. No one knows. No one knows.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. So whatever works.
Incredible.
So I think that Doc does believe that because at the core of Doc's success and when he's been his most successful, he's a player's coach. And players listen to him because he's been there. He has been there. He's been through the wars. He knows what it's like. It just depends. And Sam Cassell was that guy earlier in the season. If you remember, Ben Simmons was shooting. He was aggressive. He attributed that to Cassell. And then something happened. What happened? I don't know. But he reverted back. So that was the disappointing
Jenner.
Should be an interesting offseason, Amy. We'll be following you on Twitter. And, I tell you, this team always gives you something. It's just drama 24/7. Never ends. Thanks so much for jumping on.
You need to go coach him because you make me check my emails. You make me do this.
You don't
make
actually
me do that.
do it either.
Oh,
right.
All right. That backfired. Okay. Bye, Amy. See you later,
Amy.
Thanks so much. Man. There she is, Amy Fadool, giving Barrett the business. The stream loves it. Man. We all love it. We all see it. And we got Tom Byrne coming up next from NBA Radio on Sirius XM, also Mad Dog Sports Radio. He's an NBA honk, and he will give us his thoughts on the situation with the Sixers, Ben Simmons, and, of course, the NBA playoffs, because they still are playing, believe it or not. Right. More on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Harry Mays, Barrett Brooks on the middle. Back after this.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.